Come in.
How are you doing?
Hello, how are you?
Hey, Robert Howard.
Robert, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Here's my card.
Okay, great. Thank you very much.
How are you doing today, Shane?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good. Have a seat.
Well, thank you. I was so excited to get you on the phone the other day. Nathan had talked so highly of you.
Yeah.
And one thing he said is that he and I are golf buddies, and we go to church together. And he said that you just crush it every time on the golf course. Don't tell him that he thinks that highly of you. He might, I don't know how to go for it.
Yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good friend of mine.
He's a really good guy. Well,
I
was excited to come to your office in downtown Dallas. Coming from Waco, I actually grew up in Dallas.
Did you?
Yes, sir. It's nice to come back to Big D.
Yeah, we like it here.
Sure. Well, Sam, I just want to confirm with you. You have about 20 minutes?
Yeah, I got 20 minutes is fine. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think we can take care of everything we need to. Here's what I'd like to cover in just this time window here. I kind of just like to get to know your company a little bit. I've done some research, but it's always better hearing it from the source.
Right.
And then I'd like to just show you NetSuite and how it might complement your current business practices and help you run a more efficient company. And then I'd like to kind of talk about the next steps in terms of figuring out if this is the right fit for LubriCorp.
Right.
Anything else you'd like to add to that?
No. I know when Nathan first mentioned this to me that sure. I told him I didn't want to waste your time, so I hope this isn't a waste of your time. So,
oh, never.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Well, good.
All right. So Sam, I just want to ask, in terms of the question part, we kind of help me understand the lubricant industry as a whole. I'm not real familiar with synthetic lubricant.
Sure. We're actually the fifth largest lubricant company in the United States.
Okay.
And we market to a variety of businesses, everything from truck stops to retail stores, O'Reilly Auto Parts, those kind of companies. So we have a very, very wide variety of customers, a lot of different end uses in the lubricant
Wow,
business.
huge scope of operations there. And then doing a little research, I was looking at your financials, and since 2008, it looks like you all doubled in sales. Congratulations on that. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah.
And so, can you kind of walk me through what did you put in place that worked?
Yeah, basically, my whole strategy is to grow the business with our sales force. So I've really tried to concentrate on value added versus price. And I tell you, the last 3 years, our sales have really grown very well. This year, of course, at the end, towards the end of the year, we're flat.
Flat, okay.
Yeah, and that concerns me, to be honest with you. It is something that I'm concerned about. And in our industry, it can be very cutthroat. A lot of our competition will cut prices to gain market share. And as far as my strategy, it doesn't work. I would rather eliminate waste. I would rather sell value-added products and services rather than cut price. Because at the end of the day, when we do that, we cut price, we wind up not gaining market share and not making as much profit. So we have to deal with that with our competition, and that's been especially a problem for us this year.
Kind of dig into your competition a little bit. Can you kind of give me just what is LubriCorp's competitive advantage, and where do you see the biggest threats from competitors?
Right. I mean, I think we've got great salespeople. Most of them have been in place a long time. Okay, got 75 direct salespeople. So I would say that's our strength. I mean, obviously we got very, very good products.
Right.
But it's a very competitive environment. I mean, we've got a lot of competition, and we're not the cheapest. We're not going to be the cheapest guy out there in terms of price. So
would you say that with your sales force being such great people, they offer a higher level of customer service and satisfaction to your clients?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're all very experienced. Been with the company quite a long time. So yeah, we got a good sales force.
Okay, and as your sales have doubled over the past couple of years, have you increased your sales force?
Yeah, we have added some people. Yeah, we have added some people. Yeah, we're up to 75 people now. We got 75 people in the field, about 25 people in sales support.
Sure. Okay. And then, what have been the biggest challenges as LubriCorp has experienced such a massive growth? That sometimes good things happen, everything falls in place, and all of a sudden businesses can just start taking off, and it's hard to sometimes step back and say, okay, where can we improve? Right.
Well, I would say, I mean, obviously, the number one challenge I have is to continue to grow our business. I mean, that is my objective, and to do it profitably. And that's why this year we're having a rough year, to be honest with you.
Okay, and then in terms of profitability and looking towards the future, how do you all construct your forecast models, and what do you use a software right now to help you do that?
Yeah, we're using Microsoft Outlook. Yeah, we've been using that since 2005.
Okay. And so, with Outlook, how does that? What is the? How do you input data into that, and are you satisfied with the way that you input your metrics and all your numbers and compile data?
It's okay. I would say it's okay. Actually, the reason that we started using that, I had some senior salespeople that, when we initially looked at this, thought it was a good tool. It's okay. I wouldn't consider it great, but it seems to get the job done.
Okay. So you said there's room for improvement within the Outlook communication process?
I'd say, yeah. I'd definitely say there's room for improvement.
Okay, and then can you kind of give me a scope of your territory? I mean, I know it's a national company here.
We are.
And so how do you communicate effectively between your home office and your middle managers and your field agents?
A lot of email.
Okay.
Yeah, through obviously Outlook, Microsoft Outlook. Yeah. And we also have a lot of distributors, and that's another concern of mine. One of the things the VP of O'Reilly Automotive indicated to one of our corporate account guys that he didn't think we were interested in this business. And we actually failed them. Our distribution system ran out of product 3 different times this year. And that's a very big concern to me.
And obviously, I mean, I know from your standpoint, you do care about O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, yeah.
They're a big client.
Yeah, $4 million in sales a year.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're one of our largest customers.
Okay, and then is there anywhere you can go, any software package you have in play right now that allows you to look at the scope of your operations and say, okay, here's how sales for this person are doing, here are all my big accounts, here are all my smaller accounts, and here's potential customers? And
yeah, I keep a lot of that on spreadsheets.
Okay,
yeah.
But there's not one central location that compiles it all unless you easily look at it?
Outlook does that to some degree.
So if there was a portal you could go and kind of some almost like a car. If you're driving your car, you can see how all the how the engine's doing, the RPMs are running, the fuel level, how hot the different systems are running. Like if you could imagine your business as a car and you could look at it and tell, okay, here's the health of everything. Would that be the kind of thing that might be helpful for making more informed forecasting decisions in the future?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Great. And so, can we kind of dig in just for a second? You mentioned that your sales flatlined recently. What have you all been able to attribute a source of that, or figure out why it's happening?
No, I think that as I mentioned earlier, our competition has been cutting prices. We're not going to be the cheapest person out there. We never are. Okay, so we have always we sell quality products. We try to emphasize that. In my opinion, cutting prices is a losing game.
Sure.
We want to sell value-added products and services.
Right.
That has been my marketing philosophy since taking this company over.
Absolutely. I think that's a strong strategy, and I think holding steady prices over the long term is ultimately more healthy for a company, because it shows that you believe in your own products.
Right.
And then, I guess one last question I have for you through this first phase is just, how's your customer retention been? You mentioned O'Reilly didn't understand that you were really concerned with their well-being, and have you had other issues there?
We haven't lost that account, okay, but we constantly, we will lose customers.
Okay.
We will lose customers, and we are always trying to grow our business. So obviously we have to find new business. But yeah, there is some attrition. There's no doubt about it. Just the nature of the business.
Okay, sure. So Sam, if I could show you a solution that would help you keep track of all your business of your company in an easy to read format that in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes you can look through everything without having to open up multiple tabs in Excel,
right?
As well as track customers, current customers, where their orders are in terms of whether you're expediting them or they're on track, and also give you leads to future customers or potential customers. If I could package all that up into a bundle that was easy to use, do you think that's something that Lubricorp would be interested in? We can come along and partner with your business, help you.
Yeah. Let me back up a little bit and tell you that even though I'm the primary decision maker in this,
Sure.
okay, but all of our software is actually handled by our parent company.
Okay.
Okay? And in addition to that, my director of sales, I would want him involved in this decision, because
Right.
obviously, he's the guy that's running the day-to-day. I mean, he's the...
Absolutely.
All the salespeople report into him,
Sure.
the distributor, so he would need to be a part of this decision as well.
And Mr. Fields, I don't want to jump the gun here, but kind of what I'm seeing is the next step, the next logical step would be, obviously you're a busy man, and your input, the buck stops with you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that our conversation can be the starting point
Mm-hmm.
of putting together a system and a package that would best fit the needs of Weaver Corp. And so kind of the logical next step would be, after our conversation, find some time where I could briefly talk with each one of your department heads and just kind of pinpoint their most pressing issues and say, okay, what's important to you, what are you not getting out of your current outlook.
Right.
And so as we go through the product demonstration next, we can talk about that at the end, but just that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
How's that sound to you?
It sounds good. It sounds good. I'll tell you, it's a busy time of year.
No, I know, and the close is, and
Yeah.
obviously we want to get you up and running with the correct software as quickly as possible, and
Right.
interfere with your day-to-day business.
Right.
Okay, so just in talking to you, sounds like your biggest concerns were just continuing to do updating current forecasting, as well as keeping track of customers. And so that's where I'd like to start my presentation. And I'd like to get you kind of a holistic view of what NetSuite could do for your company and
Okay.
how we can partner with you all.
Okay.
And so if you look at this spreadsheet here, this diagram right here,
Mm-hmm.
the three main areas of the CRM management we offer is e-commerce, and CRM, and then accounting and ERP. And so, let's say if you start right here, Salesforce automation. So that is sending communication to all your salespeople, getting them on the same page in terms of up-to-date pricing, and also helping them to work together with the marketing department and also with the customer support. Because one of the ways that we can help safeguard against O'Reilly not knowing if they care about them is that the customer support guys are talking with the sales reps. So instead of you getting an email after it's filtered through multiple managers, customer support automatically send the correct information to your Salesforce people to let them know, hey, O'Reilly needs a little more attention.
Mm-hmm.
Their order, they want to change up the way they're ordering. And so from there, that's the CRM portion of it. Accounting and ERP, obviously, once you make the sale, you've got to ship it, you've got to account for it, you've got to get paid, issue receipts, and so that's really how that part of our system works. And then finally, e-commerce. That's working with your different vendors.
Mm-hmm.
That's bidding out different prices and being able to look there and see where the price that you're getting for your raw materials compares to your competitors, and it really just helps. It's more of a business side, not so much a consumer side.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of the main holistic view of CRM NetSuite.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then kind of from there, what I was talking about in terms of the dashboard, this is what our real-time dashboard looks like. So you can see the different areas. So you have different salespeople right here. So on this specific illustration, they have it divided up into different territories. So my team's doing leads, forecasts, quotes. So in one place, instead of having multiple spreadsheets open, you could peek into it and see how sales are doing and each of your territories, how each of your salesmen are doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that would also help you to pinpoint if one sales personnel might need a little more help with a difficult customer.
Right.
And then also it helps you keep track of your sales in comparison to your forecast,
Mm-hmm.
and also in terms of industry averages. And so here's your actual sales, and up here is where it says your forecast. And each of these drop-down menus, it'll give you more information.
Interesting.
And the neatest thing about this is that instead of your finance department having to update their spreadsheets and email them to you, or instead of you having to track down sales for different regions or sales personnel, it's all in here in real time.
Okay. So they'll have access to it. They can see this.
Right, they can see this, you can see this.
Okay.
So you can pull it up in a matter of minutes. You can track down just about any piece of information you need to know about the sales process.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is our home dashboard. That's like the main one. And then, if you don't mind, I'd like to show you a few of the other ones.
Sure.
Okay, and so in terms of forecasting, like you said, at the end of the year, this is kind of when the tires hit the road, and this is when it's kind of make or break time. So really, you're going to hit our mark or not. So here it would tell you, worst case scenario, most likely an upside. And so instead of having to run all the different Excel formulas, we would build those for you into here based on what you're already doing and based on what your finance and accounting department tell us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we would have you set up to where for each month, for each quarter, for each day, it would tell you how sales were going compared to where they should be, and helps you do great contingency planning. And then also, that's how they calculate the forecast, and then here's the forecasting dashboard. So really easy. One of the things that customers love about our system are the visual cues. And you've got your meter here of how you're doing. You've got charts down here that quickly show you how you're comparing to other competitors, and then just also forecasts as well. So far, do you have any questions?
No, that looks pretty interesting.
Okay, and then just kind of give you a few things, just so you don't, I don't expect you to take my word for it. Here's what some of our customers have said. One of our big selling points is the 360-degree view of the customer, and so it helps you understand their whole business and the way it relates to yours. And I'll give you a few minutes to.
How about the security into this? I mean, these days with the internet.
Oh, absolutely.
One of my concerns is that all this stuff online and everything like that. I can't afford to let one of my competitors get access to this information, because obviously there's a lot of confidential information.
Right.
That concerns me.
Sure, and that's what we have to build our business on, because if you can't trust us with your information, we don't have a product that we would feel comfortable selling to you.
Right.
So if you're familiar with any major bank of America, Chase, any of those, we use the same kind of security. That's 128-bit encrypted information. So we have an on-site monitoring process where our technicians are constantly monitoring attacks, and if one of your competitors is trying to break in, we would alert you and let you know what we're doing to proactively keep that from happening.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it sure does.
Okay. I mean, one of the great things about this too is that one of the issues of implementing a new CRM system sometimes can be training and a big learning curve.
Right.
I'm not asking all of your people to become computer programmers here. I'm not asking you to learn code.
Right.
What the CEO of Sunset Company said is, my mom can pick up NetSuite in about 3 or 4 minutes. And so that's the learning curve right there. It's 3 or 4 minutes.
Right.
And so that's where our advantage lies. It's in the real-time accessibility of information, the competitive advantage you gain from the up-to-date forecast, and ultimately just the time you save from having to dig around versus digging around in emails to try to find information, to having all the information in one portal that's easy to use, easy to dig into. Do you have any more questions about anything?
No, it looks interesting. It looks interesting.
Sure, and Mr. Gillis, I don't expect you to totally sign off on this right now, but what I would like to do with your permission is I'd like to schedule sometime maybe the first of the year when things aren't quite so hectic, and come in and talk to each one of your department heads, and then get a good sampling from your sales force of what their biggest needs are in terms of communication, in terms of forecasting, and customer relations, and then from there I can build a better presentation for you of how to really really benefit Lubricorp.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're very busy right now,
right.
And I'm one of my concerns is just making a change. We're
right.
just being real busy. That is a concern. In terms of just changing all my. So that is a concern of mine.
Right. And like I said, the learning curve is much shorter than any other system, and I know you're busy, but that time will be more than recaptured with this new information that's much more organized.
Okay.
And you have all the pieces of a very successful business in place. And I'm not trying to change your model of business at all. I just want to come in and complement what you're already doing so well, and help you find some of those areas that keep your sales from flatlining and to keep them increasing, as you've done such a great job of doing the past couple of years.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to make a decision today, but as I mentioned earlier, I would like my director of sales to take a look at this.
Sure.
So I would be receptive to setting up a meeting with him first of the year. Come back, and if you could, I'd like you to possibly show him a live demonstration.
Sure.
Because he's going to be the one that's going to be implementing this.
Absolutely.
So I'd be more than happy to set up a meeting with the two of us in attendance, and maybe in early January.
Sure, early January?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will go ahead and schedule with my people to contact your secretary and your sales manager. Sorry, can you give me his name?
Yeah. Eddie Morgan is his name.
Eddie Morgan, okay. I'll give Mr. Morgan a call the first of the year and see what works best for his schedule.
Yeah.
And then from there, we can put together a team. And
yeah, she can put you in touch. Just call the main number and she can put you in touch with her.
Perfect. I'll give Eddie a call. We'll put together your live demonstration and hopefully get that in play for next year so you can recapture some of that flatlining.
Very good. Very good.
Sam, are you a member of any of the country clubs around here?
Yeah, actually I am.
Okay. Well, I'm a member over at the Dallas Country Club, so I'd love to take you out sometime. We definitely need to hit the links.
That
pretty
sounds
soon
good.
here.
Maybe we can get Nathan, three of us, and get out there.
Absolutely. And with this, with this warm weather, you gotta love it.
Yeah. I just played on Saturday.
Okay, good deal. We'll see if we can't beat Nathan together.
Very good.
All right, Mr. Gillis, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Robert.
And please,
Yeah.
just don't hesitate to call me. You've got my number right there. If you have anything else that might be of concern to you, I'd love to address it.
Very good. Thanks for coming by.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Robert. Let's take you in there.